Jed, you dismissed your general manager and coach because they didn't reach certain performance standards.
That's part of it.
Okay, let's stick to that part. Why shouldn't you be dismissed or reassigned for the same reasons?
Look, again, like nothing I'm going to say is going to be
Say
satisfactory.
something.
Well, nothing I'm going to say is going to be satisfactory. And again, we're going to be judged on what we do and what we accomplish. We haven't accomplished enough. I own this football team. You don't dismiss owners. I'm sorry that that's the facts and that's the case, but that's the fact. And I'm going to do everything that I can to get this right. This isn't about a business and running an operation to make money. We're making sure that we're doing everything that we can to reestablish this culture. It's not an easy decision to dismiss a head coach and a general manager, especially people that have, a lot of time left on their deals. But I think that's the best thing for us. And that's what we need to do in order to get us back to where we want to be.
Hello, Jed York taking some tough questioning as the 49ers wrap up their season. BMAC, tell me if we should pump the brakes in San Francisco. According to a report, recently fired 49ers GM Trent Baalke vetoed the idea of Chip Kelly wanting to draft Dak Prescott. Instead, the 49ers went with a guard and 3 defensive players. The rest is history. We know where Dak and the Cowboys stand now. Would Dak Prescott have saved Chip Kelly's job, or should we pump the brakes on that?
Yeah, pump the brakes on that. Dak Prescott is a pretty good player, no question. But he would not be a Pro Bowler on that team. Clearly, that team lacks talent. People have to understand, the Dallas Cowboys, they had a top 5 selection, but they were not a top 5 team as far as being bad. They were in that position based on default. You had injuries to your key players, your quarterback, Des Bryant, and you had no answer as a backup. So therefore, they had a horrible year, only won 4 ball games. We know this is a quality team when healthy, and that allowed them to be in the position to have a high round pick in Ezekiel Elliott. And then later throughout the draft, they drafted Dak Prescott. Ed York, I will give him the benefit of a doubt. I'm sorry, Trent Baalke in this topic based on him deciding to go a different direction than drafting Dak Prescott. Because if he drafted Dak Prescott probably would have started based on the inability to find a stable quarterback, but he would not be a Pro Bowler. He would not be up for an MVP award. That is a bad team. So with that being said, even if you have one bright spot, that bright spot will not shine as bright on a bad team like they would on a good team. And that's what we're seeing. So Dak Prescott, he needs to send Trent Baalke a thank you letter for not drafting him, because if he was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers, no question he would not have had the year he had with the Dallas Cowboys.
When Chip Kelly, you see he's only there 1 year. Do you think he was given a fair shake?
I mean, if for me, yes, it was fair because they gave Tom Sula 1 year, so he
They're
got
just
one.
Bringing him in and
he got 1 year. So Chip, you get 1 year also. I mean, let's keep it real.
It's got to stop at one point,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the situation, because when you have a good thing in place in Coach Harbaugh, you run him out or you mutually parted ways. Any other coach you bring in, you're going to go down. That organization was relevant. Granted, his last year there, Coach Harbaugh, they were 8-8, but the previous years, they were competing for championships. Played in the Super Bowl, should have won the Super Bowl. Played in NFC championship games, won divisions. And then you had an issue with coach and the organization, the brass. Now you're trying to find a replacement. That's not going to happen overnight. So what they have going on now, they have to look themselves in the mirror. And it starts with ownership. Granted, yes, he's not going to dismiss himself because he owns the team.
I'm running if I'm that reporter. A little tough for me.
I mean, yeah, it took some guts to ask that question.
For sure. He's probably not invited back to that.